1850s, the middle of the 19th century. In Europe, the rise of nationalism undermines the dominant powers. The Kingdom of Sardinia, allied to France, defeats the Austrian Empire and obtains Italian unification. Prussia, which eyes the German Confederation, also defeats the Austrians to create the North German Confederation. 5 years later, it allies with the southern German states, defeats France, and obtains the creation of the German Empire, which is proclaimed in Versailles. The new country takes over Alsace-Lorraine. To discourage French revenge attacks, Germany moves closer to Austria-Hungary and Russia, and it rapidly develops its industry and army. In the southeast of the continent, insurgencies threaten the Ottoman Empire. Russia, its historical enemy, takes advantage of the situation and after a war sparks the independence of Balkan states and seizes territories. However, Russia's rising status is frowned upon by Western powers, who meet in Berlin to review the treaty. This worsens Russian public opinion about Germany. The latter then signs a defensive military alliance with Austria-Hungary. Italy joins the alliance after France seizes Tunisia, which it long covets. The three parties form the Triplice and the Triple Alliance. Germany, now a major power, embarks upon a colonial policy. The country brings together European powers in Berlin to establish rules around colonization, then seizes territories in Africa and Asia. This causes friction with the British and French colonial empires. Faced with growing German power, France and Russia sign a secret military alliance. France then obtains from Italy a secret treaty of neutrality, which would avoid it having to manage a second front in the event of war. The United Kingdom also feels threatened by Germany's rise, especially by its military fleet, which can compete with its Royal Navy. Moreover, Germany moves diplomatically closer to the Ottoman Empire, notably by building a railway line to link Berlin to Baghdad and facilitating access to Mesopotamian oil. France, the United Kingdom, and Russia then sign a military alliance and create a triple entente. The alliances risk dragging the entire continent into war. Major powers embark upon an arms race and prepare military plans. In the southeast of the continent, the Ottoman Empire is weakened by a revolution. Austria-Hungary takes advantage and takes over Bosnia and Herzegovina. This move is opposed by Russia, especially Serbia, which dreams of uniting the Slavic peoples of the south. Then, two Balkan wars pushed the Ottoman Empire to the borders of the continent. On June 28, 1914, in Sarajevo, the heir of the Austrian throne, Francois Ferdinand, and his wife are assassinated by a Serbian nationalist. Austria-Hungary accuses Serbia of having organized the attack. Russia defends Serbia, while Germany, now the world's leading military power, supports its Austria-Hungarian ally. World War I, on July 28, Austria-Hungary declares war on Serbia. Russia reacts by decreeing a general mobilization of its troops, triggering Germany to launch its military plan. To avoid having to fight simultaneously on two fronts, Germany plans to quickly defeat France by bypassing its armies by launching a surprise attack from the north. It will then focus on Russia, whose troops would take more time to mobilize. In retaliation, Armenians attacked many innocent women, while men went fighting in Caucasus region in the Ottoman territory. As a result, Ottoman government decided to move Armenians either to Russia or to the Middle East. To support geographically isolated Russia, allies want to open a sea supply route via the Dardanelles Straits. Franco-British ships entered the strait to bomb Ottoman cities and forts, but find the waters full of sea mines, forcing a retreat. 250,000 Ottoman soldiers and British Anzac soldiers died. British lost the war and retreated. A month later, on April 25th, Allies organized a military landing, but Ottoman defenses and forces hold steady, creating another deadlocked war front. During its submarine war, Germany sinks the British ship Lusitania, causing 1,200 civilian victims, including 128 US citizens. The United States, officially neutral until that point, registers protests. To prevent the US from going to war, Germany slows its submarine warfare. Italy, after negotiating with the Triple Entente to annex new territories, declares war on Austria-Hungary and launches an offensive around the Isonzo River. On the Eastern Front, Russia completes its retreat and stabilizes the battlefront. Bulgaria, which wishes to recover Balkan territories, joins the Central Powers. Together with Austro-German forces, they invade Serbia. In reaction, the Allies violate the neutrality of Greece by using Selanik to land reinforcements coming from France, such as Dardanelles, where Ottoman victory is complete. But it's too late for the overwhelmed Serbian army that flees via Albania. Troops are landed on the island of Corfu, from where they will gradually brought back to the Macedonian front. On the Western Front, Germany launches a massive offensive in Verdun. The German artillery pounds French trenches, which resist as best they can. In south of the continent, Portugal, allied with the United Kingdom, confiscates German ships in its ports. In response, Germany declares war on Portugal, who then sends troops to France and to its colonies in Africa, where only German East Africa still resists the Allied offensives. In Mesopotamia, the United Kingdom, after losing its besieged army in Kut, seeks support in the region. It secretly negotiated with France the partition of Ottoman territories at the end of the war. The two powers then support an Arab nationalist revolt, which starts in Mecca by promising them independence. In the North Sea, German and British fleets face off in one of the largest naval battles in history. Despite heavy losses on the British side, the Germans, small in number during the night, took refuge in their port. While the Battle of Verdun is still ongoing and Italy is under pressure from Austria-Hungary, Russia attempts to relieve its allies by launching a massive offensive that succeeds in piercing through opposition defenses. In the west, another great offensive is launched along the Somme with Britain spearheading the attack. They would use tanks for the first time, but to no avail. War fatigue while Romania joins the Entente, the Brusilov offensive in the east, and the battles of the Somme and Verdun all end after having caused tremendous human casualties on both sides. Troops are exhausted and demoralized. In Germany, the war effort and the Allied trade embargo prevent the country from getting enough food, causing widespread famine. Western powers, on the other hand, can count on a supply of resources via the Atlantic, mainly from the United States, towards whom they are in debt by the German people. Austria-Hungary and Ottoman Empire and Austria-Hungary is completely dismantled. Czechoslovakia and the Kingdom of Serbs, Croatians and Slovenes are created. Italy felt aggravated as it doesn't obtain all the territories it was promised. Austria, which is entirely German speaking, is denied the right to be attacked by Germany. The Ottoman Empire is also dismembered during the Treaty of Sevres. The UK struggles to keep its word, having promised land to the French, the Zionist Jews, and the independence to the Arabs. The Turks refused the treaty and took arms again. They gained some territories. They signed in Lausanne a treaty fixing the new borders of Turkey. Consequences of the First World War. Great War was the deadliest ever, with just under 80 million dead, including 8 million civilians. The weakened population was then hit hard by the deadly Spanish flu pandemic. Economically, European powers find themselves heavily indebted, to the benefit of neutral countries and the United States, which empowers its status as the leading economic power. Russia becomes the USSR, a country exhausted by war and frustrated by the loss of many European territories. In Palestine, tensions mount between Arabs and Jews who migrate there. The new European borders disgruntle many. The fact that some German populations are now living in Poland and Czechoslovakia would contribute to the outbreak of the Second World War.